Hey, so to the former straight A student who is currently a perfectionist and overachiever and on her way to burnout, just want to say hey. Just want to say hey, we are going to stop wasting our 5 to 9s to where we are going to be in a place of burnout and then end up just doom scrolling. Okay, it's good to rest. I will say it's good to rest, but if you're resting because your body is quite literally crashing out and forcing you to, um, probably not for the best. Gotta do it anyways, but that probably means while you're working, you're not doing so hot. So let's stop wasting our 5 to 9s and have a productive yet restful routine, which sounds counterintuitive, but this is the whole concept of being a soft girl boss, okay? We get to live that soft girl life, but also be a girl boss and work towards our dreams. Today is Tuesday, which usually means my friend and I are gonna go to a cafe after coffee, after the office and work on our little side hustle and dreams together. However, unfortunately, she did not come into the office today, so we're doing our own thing. I am gonna go change and go up to our rooftop, maybe grab a fun drink and start working for a few hours, and we will chat some more while I'm up there. Okay, there are quite a few people up here, so hopefully you can hear me fine. But one of the most important things when you're building your dreams without burnout is making sure you are really specific about your time. So, setting time blocks essentially being like, okay, this day I'm working on my strategy for what we're doing. This day I'm working on whatever. I'm going to use content for an example for me. So, today is a strategy day where I really look at what I'm doing, analyze my analytics, maybe rethink what I want to do in terms of my content, how I could improve. And then other days are filming days, and other days I set aside purely for friendship. Do not take my phone out, no filming, none of that. And then I do have a day where I just turn completely off. I don't work on my 9 to 5. I don't work on my dream goals or anything like that. So it's really important to get specific about your time, not only throughout the week, but within the day. So, for example, you want to make sure you have your phone thrown away by a certain point. For me, 9:30, phone is put away. However, I will say being aggressive about your time boundaries is not needed. Okay, if your friend is having a birthday party, freaking go to your friend's birthday. Don't be a bad friend. Or say you get a really awesome opportunity that will help with your goals, but it doesn't necessarily fit in the days or time blocks that you have. It's okay. Rearrange that time. Also, I found something to be really helpful for me as someone who can be a bit of a homebody and like to stay at home is determining how many days per week I am allowed to do things after work. I'm not counting the weekends. Weekends, have your fun. For me, I think about 2 days per week, maybe three, depending on what it is. I can go and do something after work outside of my strategy sessions with my friend slash coworker slash former roommate. That just helps me stay sane and not freak out over my side business, but also make sure I am still being a good person and going to see my friends and making connections. All right, BRB guys, I am going to do some work and then we'll see how I'm feeling after if I'm going to potentially go to the gym. So usually I like to go in the mornings for the gym, but I had a headache this morning, so that's okay. As long as I get in 3 to 4 times a week, I'm set. All right, we just did some work and now we're gonna eat dinner. And unfortunately, one of my biggest tips throughout the 5 to 9 and to kind of save yourself time during the week is by meal prepping. Literally used to hate the concept of meal prepping. I was like, oh, I hate the idea of making all my food and it's not fresh and I have to microwave it. The amount of time and energy I am saving, because think about it, I'm gonna spend 30 minutes making one meal anyways. Why not just double what I'm making and have it prepped? So I always spend a day or two prepping. So yesterday I prepped one meal and then this morning I prepped two others because my head was hurting and I was like, I'm not going to the gym like this. So I definitely recommend meal prepping or just, prepping in general, like the night before, lay out your gym clothes or pack up your work bag. It is crazy how much of a difference it can make, especially meal prepping, because now I don't have to worry about cooking time during my evenings, which tend to be pretty packed. All right, hello guys. I don't know if this is the best angle. It's definitely not. But post rooftop activities, I decided to go on a little treadmill walk at my apartment. I will say, if you are someone who works from home, definitely get up, leave the apartment, put yourself in a new space to kind of reset your mind and your body. So whether you go on like a little treadmill walk like I am now, whether you go to the grocery store, which my roommate is doing now, or just whatever it is, going to a boba shop, whatever makes you happy. I will say the best thing to do is to give yourself a bit of movement. You don't have to lock in and go to the gym and do something crazy. You can literally just walk on a treadmill like I am. But it's definitely important to give your mind and your body a break. And yes, a movement break. This lighting does me so dirty. Anyways, one of the things that I've learned to be really important to not burn out is learning to listen to your body. And I used to be the kind of person that was always like, go, 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 like never needed to stop, would wake up at 5 a.m., go to bed at 10 p.m. and be totally fine. But as I got older, as I started working a corporate job and like, you know, try to balance all this with as little time as we have, that has become increasingly difficult, especially with migraines, painful bloating, blah, blah, blah. So learning to listen to my body was a tough one. And there's a difference between listening to your body and understanding when it's just your brain that's uncomfortable. So for example, if I'm dealing with headaches like I was earlier today, of course I'm going to like rest and take it a little bit easier. I know how much I can push myself depending on how much my head is hurting. Whereas, you know, if I'm like feeling really tired, but I know I've been sitting around all day and I actually haven't been like sleep deprived or anything like that, then I know it's just my brain shutting down and it's actually time to get up and start moving and start working out or something. So yeah, it's a difficult thing to learn. But the main thing is understand it when it's your body being like, no, we gotta stop, or when it's your brain just being a little uncomfortable. I remember I was feeling a little anxious, and I know sometimes like movement kind of helps me feel less anxious and feel more grounded. And so I went to the gym, started working out, but instead I ended up feeling more anxious. And I told my personal trainer and she was like, I think it's your body actually telling you you need to rest. And I was like, oh, I thought I needed to like push myself and get myself out of it. But no, that is a case where my body is telling me I need to rest. It is a journey to learn. I think it took me a year to figure this out. So do not pressure yourself. Do not feel bad if you haven't figured it out yet. We need to figure out new lighting. This bathroom lighting is horrendous. Okay, now we have one more thing when it comes to habits to build within your 5 to 9. This is actually going to be after 9 for me. So remember how we have our time blocks and like when we set away our phone, I have like a soft a soft cutoff of my phone by 9:30 and then like a hard deadline. I need to stop saying deadline, that sounds wrong. A hard cutoff at 10. And then something you can do is create an evening anchor. So this is kind of just like a little luxurious moment where you can like settle in and kind of signal to your body, okay, it is time to go to bed. So for me, I always make flower tea from the Chi. I'll have a link in my bio, not my bio, in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing any. The different flowers have like different health benefits and I just think it's so much more fun than like a regular old tea bag, like flower tea, like oh my gosh. So I have my tea and then I journal, kind of just, you know, whether it's thoughts for the night or affirmations like I mentioned in my last vlog, and I just settle in. And sometimes like I'll read or something instead if I'm not feeling like I wanted to write, or meditate. Just like pick one. All I know is at the end of the day is I'm gonna have my tea and something else to accompany with it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed following along this 5 to 9 and these 5 habits that you can implement in order to have a productive yet burnout free routine. We are entering our soft girl boss eras, and if you enjoyed this one, I definitely recommend that you watch this one next, where I had like a productive anti-burnout weekend, so you can kind of see how we can implement those outside of the work days, because let's be real, the weekends are more fun. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.